Good morning. So, you may have already heard, but there were two gun control bills heard in the Public Safety Committee hearing yesterday. So, one of them has to deal with semi-automatic firearms, and the other one has to do with no more than 10 rounds in a chamber, in a magazine. So, if you are like me and we're not able to be up there in person and testify on these bills, you can always submit public testimony via written form. You can email up the committee administrator and you can submit some written testimony that will then appear in their packets. And so the second step, if you want to, you can take it one step further and you can go look up the committee and you can go find which legislators sit on that committee and you can email them your testimony or some other written words as well. So basically, I want to read for you what I wrote up there. So, to the chair and committee members, I'm writing in opposition to HF 3402. Why is a governing body trying to erase the Bill of Rights? A person's right to own and bear arms shall not be infringed. Back in the colonial era, this provision was talking specifically about military-grade weaponry. Furthermore, this is once again a highly partisan bill that interferes with inheritance and our basic civil rights. This is more legislation scapegoating the real issue, human character. Why not go after the root cause of responsibility, accountability, mental health, education on proper firearm use, not to mention destigmatizing the right to defend oneself. Statistics show the safest places are those where firearms are common appearance. The best way to protect innocence and stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. Do not forget about Greater Minnesota, where we still deal with wild animals on a frequent basis. We have been blessed for decades to not have a foreign army invade. That is because it is well known that the American people are armed and ready to defend our homeland. This bill weakens our defense and makes us vulnerable. The only people who are for this legislation are those who are anti-American. Lastly, why is simply practicing our Second Amendment rights and owning a firearm judged at least 5 times more harshly than actual violent crime? Assault is 90 days. Holding someone against their will, basically kidnapping, is a year, while practicing our constitutional rights is charged up to a 5-year felony. That's what this bill would do. This is bad legislation and everyone knows it. Sarah B., Pine Island. So basically, when people speak up and when your voices are heard, we have to do it en masse. And so a lot of people are like, well, what's my one lone little voice going to say? You never know. It's everyone's one little voice adding up that makes a difference. So if there's a piece of legislation you agree with or don't agree with, let your voice be heard. You can go up to the Capitol, testify. You can send in some written statement. There's a lot of things you can do. You can join in via Zoom. Let your voice be heard and put a face to legislation. All right, have a good morning. Have a good day.